Man, I don't remember the last time we were on the air. But what is up, guys? DJ Chicken Nugget back at it again. I wanted to hit you guys with a couple of questions, or maybe just one, depending. But what happens if Konami doesn't hit the appropriate decks on this ban list? Or, what kind of meta are we going to have? So I was having interesting thoughts to myself earlier, and by interesting thoughts, I mean, I didn't even know you could do some of those things to yourself. Wrong thoughts. So Shadows of Valhalla is coming out mid-August, which means Valkyries are coming out, along with, Ninja support, and quite possibly a few other things that have kind of gone under the radar. But you've got Saiho now out, which means core set changes. I mean, Saiho doesn't really do much. It's just like, hey, Boral Sword's here to kind of ruin the day. But remember, the OCG doesn't have Shadows of Valhalla yet, which means there's still a lot kind of going on. You gotta remember, they're past Soul Fusion right now, and I mean, they were effectively 2 sets ahead of us before Saiho. So, with them being a set ahead of us, I mean, the impact that set could have on their meta could be astronomical. So here's the question I asked you guys. 1, will Shadows of Valhalla change the meta? I don't think the Valks are going to be that good. I think they've probably put like 300 conditions on Mischief of the Time Goddess that, well, at the end of the day, it's gonna kind of fail, and I don't like saying that because I wanted Mischief of the Time Goddess to be good. Actually, I think the whole Time Goddess thing is a really cool concept, whether or not it's through the passive recruiting that the archetype has for itself through the continuous spell cards, or just the damn good searching that the deck's got. I mean, it could have an impact, but as for solid tier 1, it would be nice, but hope in one hand, shit in the other. Am I right, or am I right? So, for Valhalla to be an effective set, I don't know what we're going to have to see happen in the game. I'm sure it would have to be very spicy for that to happen, but that's the first interesting question here. Number 2, the big culprit in the room is Summon Sorceress. Summon Sorceress isn't going to get touched any damn time soon, which means the card's going to continue to be a troublesome instigator in the current format. I don't know if you guys have seen current Goki with Summon Sorceress, but it's kind of a nightmare. And that was one of the things I wanted to bring up. If the format will remain the same if Konami does not touch Goki. When you have a deck as consistent as Goki running around in the format, generating all of these 2-card combos, I don't think people understand that 2-card combos are a very dangerous thing to let exist. Being able to combo off and things like that, they're very dangerous. I mean, whenever you 2 cards in my hand can start a combo, yeah, it's kind of fucking dumb in my opinion. And almost insanely unfair to the rest of the meta. Now, if you look at how the OCG's doing post Soul Fusion, I mean, they've got, Thunder Dragons running around, Sky Strikers, Altergeist have definitely moved up the ladder. And they've got Goki. So, I mean, their format's pretty much what you would expect for just a dampered down version of their current metagame. I mean, once you hit Sky Strikers and you take care of Hornet Drones, the deck just kind of falls in its lap. Hitting drones, and I've said this multiple times over, it does hurt the deck a lot more. But there's a difference between killing the deck and letting the deck remain a tier 1 entity. If you want to hit the deck to tier out of 1 status, then just limit drones and go hit engage 2. And you'll put the nail in the coffin for the deck. Just kind of something I've noticed over time. It's yeah, drones is at 1, but by doing that, you limit the toolbox. And by limiting the toolbox, you basically hit the interface of the deck, which is basically what you need to do. So, having a toolbox deck in the format is a good thing, but you have to remember, because it's a toolbox, not all of its pieces should be at full power. So it's been a while since we've had a warrior-esque toolbox deck in play, but I think a lot of people need to understand that sometimes having too many utility cards can be a bad thing. So I mean, if we definitely don't hit Sky Striker on this list, the repercussions will be pretty bad, because pure Sky Striker just gains more power. Now, the difference between the TCG and the OCG right now is we still got 150% Trickstar. And I make this point every single video. God, I love road construction. Trickster Reincarnation plus Licorice plus the rest of the company is pretty damn bonkers, actually. Just what that deck does to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's so bad. And hopefully, now the Reincarnation's been reprinted, we'll have to see if it gets the third reprint in the Megatons. But, you know, let's be real here. Trickstars are probably going to remain a top 1 deck if they don't end up touching it. And I don't want that, but I guess. If you invest in Trickstars, you've definitely got your mileage out of your deck core at this point. Like, congratulations, you somehow have done it. Now, a very safe investment right now, and it's fucking Altergeist. So here's the thing. Altergeist have just enough amount of cards to kind of remain in the back burner and continuously show up their ugly head. Like, Konami did very good designing Altergeist at this current point in time with their current card pool. And I definitely think that whatever the cost of the deck core is, it's not even that much. If you see these things kind of rear their ugly head every once in a while, just kind of pay attention to them and just know that, hey, oh, it's that guy, it's Altergeist. Just kind of put the deck on the back burner. It's kind of like Mermails and the other OTA decks that kind of show up every once in a while. As long as you know how to play against the deck and don't let the deck catch you off guard, much like Spirals and things like that, then you're not going to have a terrible matchup against it. So it's going to be one of those back burner tier 2 decks that will continue to show up. And it's very good that we have these decks now. I didn't think that there would actually be a time where these tier 2 decks would take a back seat and still be able to compete. But Konami has done just right by these decks and given them just enough support that, hey, you know, they can compete. So kind of definitely something awesome to note. That because of that, you know, things like Spirals and whatnot can still exist. Now, the last big boy in the room is Firewall Dragon. And if this card doesn't get banned, you're going to continue to see the same shit you've seen all format, even to the beautiful extremity. I think we've seen more OTK decks exist now because of Firewall than ever before, because having a continuous on-flow of monsters from your hand every time a monster that he points to goes to the graveyard is one of the dumbest things ever. And I don't think Konami expected Firewall to be as degenerate as he is, especially in the current day and now. But if Gokis don't get checked, they're going to remain probably the best deck, if not the second best deck in the format. You know, it's if you hit Sky Strikers and things like that, you've definitely got to go do something to Goki. You know, the big thing with Goki and the OCG is their build has evolved, but with their evolution, I think their deck got a little bit less good. Is that weird? I don't know. They still have Max C to deal with, so it's like, well, when their deck evolved, I mean, it didn't really evolve because of Max C, it's just Max C still hurts this build more than previous builds. But when you look at, like, the way Firewall is as a card, this card is so fucking dumb it actually hurts. And we the players can't do anything about it because one, it hasn't been reprinted yet, which means, oh no, it's probably not getting banned. You know, I have a feeling if we see a ban on it, it'll be post Megatons in September. But for that to happen, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. It's been the culprit of a format and a half now, if not 2. And the card's only going to continue to get worse as we get more support and break these particular cards. Because I don't know about you guys, I'm getting kind of sick of playing against Firewall Dragon, and it's just pure unwavering bounce 3. But because it's the main character's card in the anime, Konami's not going to want to hit it, and I understand that. But you're going to have to do something at some point to Firewall. Probably got another 2 years before they do anything to it, but it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh's dying anytime soon, right? So, something else to note there, but I think the current format needs to get cleaned up ASAP. I think the way that things are right now, that it's pretty degenerate. Let's be real. I think allowing some of these decks to have existed for as long as they've existed is both a good and a bad thing, honestly. But it is what it is in terms of the market and the way that things are going right now. I mean, expect a market crash the closer we get to Megatons, which will definitely help out players getting more of the cards that, you know, they need to succeed in the current game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So guys, DJ Chicken Nugget encourages you to leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about the current format. You know, how you think things are going to shift, how you think things are going to fare in the next couple of weeks as we start heading towards a new Forbidden Limited list. All right, 10 piece out.